grumpiness to your internet, and welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today, well, according to our conversation just before we went live, you get a whole rotisserie chicken with sides. It sounds good. With me today, as you can probably see, is your boy Pat. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing great. Now, how are you?
If I were doing any better, it would probably be illegal, and probably is in some states. The way things are going. Cray says, "Old man is cheating, taking a bathroom break at the beginning of the show." Cray, I take one of those every show. I'm not kidding you. I always last minute, right before I invite the guest in, I will go to the bathroom. Yeah, but it doesn't do any good. Doesn't do any good. How you doing, chat? People out there, hope you're having a good Saturday. You know, for those of you that work, hopefully that means that you don't have to work. That it's the weekend. Michael Weiner, hashtag pre-stream, P-stream. There you go. Hey, Amanda. Good to see you.
I see you. I see you, man. The Wolf Child, Evan Williams, all up in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. I love you guys. That's the reason I try to make it a point, because so many people in their streams get distracted and don't interact with their chat. And I try to make it a point to always interact with my chat. Now, of course, if I had like 1 million subscribers, which ain't never going to happen, but if I did, I would have a hard time, keeping up with that. But as it is, Badgers out there, all in all, it's just another spot on the wall. Yeah, don't worry, I'll explain the title here in a little bit. Excuse me, I got a little bit of indigestion, which is giving me the hickam cups. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? So hope everybody, as I said, I hope everybody's having a good weekend, a good start to their weekend. Like I said, it's Saturday. It's a day for a lot of us to just kick back and relax and recoup from the week that was.
Oh, yeah. It's been actually a cool week though, so far now. The temperature has gone down since it's fall now, thank God, because the humidity kicking down here.
Oh, I know. Earlier in the week, around the first part of the week, we were actually breaking record temperatures here in Indiana for the highest temperature for that date in history. It was hot for October in Indiana anyway. It reached well over 90, which is hot for this time of year for us. We'll get that in the summertime, but usually not in October.
Well, now it's like it's down in the 80s now, so it's like it's feeling way much better now because it ain't the humidity ain't kicking in now. But like as soon as you wake up, like man, I'm like the sun ain't even out. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's just because I said, the humidity is just killing you right there. And then when the sun comes out and you add all that together, oh god,
yeah, I was over at my youngest daughter's house most all day yesterday, babysitting, and a little bit after I got there, Jakey, my son, got up, and I went out to smoke on the porch because she doesn't like you to smoke in her house, and I'm okay with that. That's your rule. I'll go out there and smoke. Kids hadn't got up yet. Real quick, thank you, Willie Ham, for the donation, and I'm just waiting for it to show. There we are. Hey Bloodwing, look at your Twitter DM. I sent you a picture of how I almost flipped the semi. Oh my, that's not good. Don't be flipping the semi. But yeah, I'll take a look here in a little bit. But anyway, went over there to babysit and sitting out on the porch, and he come down and was waiting for his fiance to pick him up. Was sitting on the porch, and he's in shorts and stuff. He's shivering. I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? He says, I'm cold. I'm cold. Like, oh, this feels good to me. I'm loving it. But of course, that boy, he He ain't got any blood. He takes after my grandma, the one we called Mammy. In the last 20 years or so of her life, she was always cold. And I'm not joking or making this up. You could walk in her house in the middle of August and she'd have the wood stove going.
God, no.
Like, oh, geez, Mammy, you're trying to kill us. So I'm cold. I'm cold. Well, if you need anything, holler at me. I'll be outside the door here where it's a little cooler.
It's kind of like me with the fan. It's like, man, I don't know. It could be just freezing outside, but I gotta have that fan, man. I don't know. It's just the sound of that noise right there. It's therapeutic to me. It's like, I can't go to sleep unless I got a fan.
I am exactly the same way. I've been sleeping with a fan since the 90s. When I worked nights, and I started running a fan because it helps block out the outside noise. I had kids and people in the neighborhood, and the ambient noise helps block it out. Well, I got so used to it now I cannot sleep without it. And if the power goes out or something happens, the fan breaks, because it's happened before, and the fan quits, I will wake up like a shot. Like, what happened?
That's one thing I can't stand. I cannot stand the quiet. Like, God. Yeah. You hear everything. Like,
I can eventually get to sleep when it's without a fan, when it's like that. But if there's a fan going, I can go. Well, I don't think I've ever went right to sleep in my entire life. I'm a notorious insomniac, but I can go to sleep a lot quicker. Kyler says, somebody poke Papo, he done nodded off. Not sure what you mean. I'm still going. Which made me go check the watch page to make sure we weren't, because the last time I had you on here, Pat, we had that stream of the mysterious swirling symbol.
Yeah, I'm like saying, the buffering of death. And soon as we came back on, we got to talking again. And you're like, oh, we got it.
Yeah. So let's hope that don't happen again. It hasn't happened since. I still ain't quite figured that out.
Me neither.
I
mean, we chalked it up as somebody trying to report you, but it's like, oh no.
I've had buffering before, but that was just really weird because everywhere I checked, it said that the stream was okay.
Yep.
But it wasn't okay. Absolutely was not. Excuse me. But yeah, hope everybody's doing good. So, okay, the title, Spots on the Wall by Who Flung Poo, and everybody's familiar with the old joke. Like I said yesterday, I had the wife and I went over to babysit the grandkids because, well, they needed somebody to do that while my daughter worked and J-Kid had things to do. And for most of the day, it wasn't that big a deal. My wife was really, really short on sleep, so it was rough on her, but she kind of catnapped on the end of the couch while we were there. But for most of the day, it wasn't that difficult. I do know how to take care of kids. I've raised 3 of them, and I got 10 grandkids. So yeah, know what I'm doing most of the time. But I am older. I'm not 30 years old anymore, and it's a little harder physically on me. So the latter part of the day, it come the time where wife went and picked up the 2 older girls, brought them back home, and then went to pick up my daughter from work. And she has to drive clean over in another county to pick her up from work. She works quite a bit away. So I was there with the girls, a couple hours, a little over, something like that by myself, which again was no big deal. We had laid the 2 youngest ones down for a nap, and the 2 older ones, unless they're fighting, which they do constantly,
Or it's one of those mine type of things.
It's your turn. You're supposed to do it. No, you done it. I done it last week. No, I did it. Oh, stop it. They were fighting the other day, and I had to, when they were in the car and I was taking them to school, and I said, let me ask you a question. How often does Papa ever yell at you? Well, never. Well, it's about to happen if you don't stop it. If y'all don't stop fighting, it's about to happen. Anyway, they weren't. Well, it was a little bit, but we sat down and was watching some movie on Netflix or something. Me and the two oldest ones, and the younger two were asleep. Then I heard this noise, and I looked at the other two girls. I said, "Is that your sisters up here awake?" I heard a scream, and I said, "Is that your sisters upstairs awake?" And hey, Jen, and I said, well, no. Well, I was really kind of trying to hint at one of them to go check because it's upstairs, and I don't do stairs any better than Ranting Monkey, if that gives you a clue.
Oh man.
I try not to go upstairs or downstairs if I can help it. But well, they didn't take the bait, so I had to go up there and go check on what was going on. Hey, all you need, and walked up, and as I walked up, there was upstairs was a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old that had been napping, and 4-year-old says, "Papa, she's took her diaper off." I'm like, well, crap. So I walk into the baby's room, and there she is standing in her crib, sure enough, with her diaper off, but it wasn't just any diaper. It was a poopy diaper.
Oh,
And there was poop on the walls, all over the crib, all up and down her legs. She'd been playing in it. She's just grinning back at me like, look what I did. And I'm like, no, not this. No. Because one thing Papa's tried to retire from is changing diapers. A wet diaper is one thing, but a poopy diaper, if I can get out of it, I'm like, nope, you do it.
Because it ain't just any old poop; it's the runny kind.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh crap! And I go back downstairs, and I try to get one of the older two to go up and change her diaper for me. Well, again, they ain't taking the bait; they're watching their movie. Daggum it, I'll do it. So I grab the diaper wipes and go back upstairs, and I'm wiping on it, and it has, I don't know when she done it, because she hadn't made any noise, we didn't know she was awake. But it had already dried and crusted. I'm like, no, this child needs a bath. This is all there is. No. And the whole time she's still just grinning at me like, look what I did. Ain't you proud?
Like, hey, you didn't have to take the diaper off me. I did it myself.
Yeah. Like, oh no. But long story short, I got the older of the girls, who's 11, I think. My daughter's agreeing. Yet I'm terrible with ages. My wife. See, I'm terrible with names too. I got her to. I texted her mom because they were on the way here. I texted her, "Are you almost at the house?" Says, we're stuck in traffic. They're in a traffic jam. I'm crud. Because like if I was, if they were going to be home pretty soon, I'd leave it to her. But she wasn't. So she said, go get the oldest one to go bath her for you. So I went down and got the oldest one to bath her for her. And then the next oldest one to try to clean it off the crib. And then I went downstairs and just put my head in my hands and like, Calgon, take me away. Yeah. If we've had kids, we've all been there before. But
Oh yeah.
like I said, I'm getting older. Like I told my daughter before I left, do you know something? Do you know that the first time around to 30 is a breeze compared to the second time around to 30? Let me tell you. But
Me, I haven't been around there in a long time, but it's like, I know eventually my grandpa day is gonna come up. I hope they ain't gonna be anytime soon, but
yeah, yeah,
oh, I could just imagine.
yeah. Well,
But
your daughter just graduated, so yeah.
yep, she's
It,
in college right now. It's like it's not her I'm worried about. It's the boy. That's
well,
the one. That's
yeah,
the one. Right. He ready to go off, and I'm just like, slow your roll, boy.
yeah, yeah. You do realize that the consequences of that costs a lot of money.
Mm,
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. That's now I'm not going to say that. That's a crappy situation. Yes, it was. It very much was. And the whole time, I'm not kidding. She just was grinning like she just pulled the best trick ever. Like, like I should be congratulating her for her artistic endeavors.
then you gotta look.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I don't mean to sound like I was complaining. It was rough
Mm,
on me physically because I am getting older and I'm not in the best of physical shape. But
mm.
yeah, I wasn't dealing with that. Not if I could help it. No, sir.
Yeah.
And of course, she had to wait until Papa was the only one there with her to do that. Like, no, 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 no.
But like, why me?
Even when I went to leave, her mom got home and she was still in the tub. And I poked my head in there to say bye to her. She's just in there grinning away at me. What, you didn't appreciate my gift, Papa? Come on.
Like, I got Papa all good.
But for the most part, it was really good. I mean, I got wallered to death, which I enjoyed. By not just the two older ones were at school, but not just by the two girls that were there, but by her dog, who just loves me to death. So if it wasn't a little kid on my lap, it was a 50-pound pit bull mix on my lap. They were taking turns. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. But I can't say that I wasn't happy to get home. When I finally got home after 6 p.m., I smoked a cigarette because I don't smoke in my wife's car, and then went right to bed.
That's it. Done for the day.
Well, I woke up about an hour later, but I had to, whew, I was pooping. Literally, in many ways. Oh, good drink that there. So, yeah, nuts. This one particularly thinks she is. She's a huge baby. And on occasion, she stays here at the house if my daughter has to go somewhere for more than like a day. And I have been caught in the act of rocking her in the rocking chair, the dog. My daughter see me do it, says, "Are you rocking that dog?" And I'm like, maybe.
Yes.
But yeah, it's all good. We had a good time. It was a little rough there at the end, but hey.
But in the end, it was all fun.
Yeah, yeah. So how's it been for you, Pat? Tell us about it.
Oh, it's been good. Like I said, well, the last couple of days I spent fighting off trying not to get sick because with the weather change and things like that, you know how that goes. Like, I don't know what it is. Like every time the season change, my body changed along with it. And I felt myself trying to get sick, so I was trying to fight that off because I gotta work, like I said, gotta pay the bills and things like that. If I go down for one day, oh my God. So I spent most of my time just basically doping myself up. I went over to my mom's house. she had one of our famous toddy mixtures. You know that right there with the lemon and the peppermint and the alcohol right there. That one sip and then about 10 minutes later you out like a light.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, I've had
So
those.
so yeah, I took some of that. That helped out real good. But other than that, I just basically been just doing my thing right there, like working, messing around on Twitter and things like that. And people still like well, the main media and things like that, still trying to get the Joker movie to be so bad. Oh my God, them
Oh
folks,
yeah.
they are basically, they basically wanting somebody to shoot up that movie. Because like every time you hear the mainstream media talk about the Joker film and things like that, oh my God, this film is so this and that right there, and we're just afraid that one of these days that somebody's gonna go out there and it's gonna cause that huge mass shooting and things like that. Like, no, you want a mass shooting to start because just so you can say something. Because they want this movie to be horrible so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It does seem like they just want something really bad to happen
Yeah.
so they can, report it. And,
Hmm.
if they keep giving the crazies the ideas, it might just happen,
And that's what they're really trying to do, and that's what a lot of people have been pointing out on Twitter, including myself, like CNN sitting up for like talking about, oh, the film Joker has been faced with such criticism that because people now afraid that it could start a mass shooting. I'm like, no, you wanted to start a mass shooting. That's why you keep reporting it the way you do, because you're
Yeah.
thinking like, hey. Cause no idea, cause if you're an attention seeker that wants something like this and you want these crazy people and the news is like making it out there, obviously like, hey, if anybody shoots up this movie right here, then we're gonna report on it non-day, nonstop. So, if you crazy, you're gonna be like, that's a good opportunity right there. That's what they want. And I'm glad that nobody has taken that bank, thank God. That
Yeah.
bait, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, there's an awful lot of. I haven't seen the movie, obviously, and probably won't be able to until it comes out on Netflix or something because
Hey,
I just can't afford what it costs to go to the movies these
yeah,
days.
to the movies.
Oh my gosh, I can't afford it. And I- the last time I've been to the movies, I didn't even pay for it then. J Kid did, and that was the Batman movie with the Joker. That's how long it's been.
I think the last time I went to the movies, it was Suicide Squad. I don't know. I'm just not the movie. I'm just not the theater going type.
I don't mind it, but I'm kind of old school. I'm one of
Uh,
them weird people. I know the acoustics and the visuals are better indoors, but
mhm.
when I went to the movies, of course, when I was a kid, I grew up on drive-ins, drive-in theaters outdoors,
Mm,
and I prefer them. I like the atmosphere better.
yeah.
Of
Well, back in those
course,
days, drive-ins wasn't really going to see them.
yeah. Um, I mean, I remember when the kids were small, I had a pickup truck and we had it rigged up where I'd pull in backwards, in the spot, and we'd all climb out. And the wife and I had lounge chairs set up back there, and then we had an air mattress that the kids laid on, and a cooler. And we sat in the back of that truck, watched movies, and it was a good time. It was a fun time, and of course the acoustics, the sound is way better in an indoor theater because in an outdoor theater you got them little dinky fuzzy sounding speakers you hook on your window. But it was just the experience. Of course,
Hmm.
nowadays in today's generation, there's a good chance and you guys that are younger will never experience that because I know, like here in, when I was a kid, just within rock throwing distance, there was at least one, two, three, four, five drive-in theaters, and some of those had multiple screens. You know, and now there's only one in the whole city that I can think of that's still
Mm.
open. But
Oh, still going?
yeah, yeah, it's actually one that has three screens, and boy, saw a lot of movies over there during the day. What you would do is because see the three screens was, the like. first release movies were at the first screen, you know, and then movies that had been out for a little longer at the second screen, and then re-releases of movies that had been out for a long time were at the third screen. So depending on which screen you went to, you paid a different price because they didn't all cost the same. And so we would always pay for the third screen and then sneak our car over to the first one to watch the new release. Yeah, anyway, what I'm getting at before I got myself all sidetracked with the drive-in, you know, they're causing all that ruckus and everything about, oh, it's going to cause copycats and everything. People, have you ever seen a movie called Taxi Driver? I guarantee it can't be anywhere near as violent as that movie. There's no way. And that movie is old now. You know, it's only about 10 years younger than I am, somewhere thereabouts. Violent movies have been around for a long, long time. And yeah, sometimes you get people copycatting it, but these are people that are sick in the head anyway.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't that movie, it would be something else they'd pick up on for them to use as their inspiration, if you would.
Exactly. But it's like they just wanted to be this movie right here because just so they can, you know, have something to talk about.
Yeah, Falling Down. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Yeah, and then before there were really violent movies, there was really violent books, and it's just, I'll tell you, it just sometimes it just I just don't know about today. I just don't know about it. But speaking of drive-in movies, you know, when I was growing up, that was the only way we got to go to movies because, you know, my mom and dad had 3 kids. Dad worked at the post office, which was good money, but, you know, he wasn't rich by any means. So, you know, they didn't take us to the indoor theater. We went to the outdoor. And when I was a kid, there was no movie rating system. That wasn't invented until after I was already here and got older. So it's not like you could look in the paper, and the local paper always had a section of, you know, what movies were showing where, you know, but it wasn't like you could look at it and see what it was rated to see if it was fit for kids, right? So this movie come out, I'll never forget. I was about, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, somewhere around in there, and this movie come out, and I believe the title of it was Blue Fox. And my parents assumed that it was some kind of animal movie like Disney, you know? Yeah, not exactly. So we get there, we get all settled in, we all got our drinks and, you know, food, and brought our cooler, and the movie's starting, and it was pretty clear right from the start that blue didn't have anything to do with the color of the fox. It was darn near a porno movie. And my mom and dad are scrambling all over the place. At the time, my dad drove a 1968 Volkswagen bus. They're scrambling all over that bus to cover our heads and get the heck out of there.
Like, no, I gotta see this.
Like, what? Never forget that. And that could happen in those days. And you might get a normal movie paired up, because a lot of, you know, most of the time back then you got a double feature. You know, you got the one movie, and then you got another one to watch with it. And you might get a decent movie paired up with a raunchy movie, because there just was no rating system. And you had to be careful. Wasn't no such thing as R or X or PG or none of that stuff.
Yeah. I was born during the VHS days, so it's like, no. I had to wait till it came out on VCR. Then that's when I got to watch it right there. Of course, a lot of things was like, being born in the slash era and all that right there. I got the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Slumber Party Massacre, the sleepaway camps and things like that. It's like, man. And especially like living in the country, like I said, watching all that slasher right there. Is like, yeah.
Yeah. Big Junkie it says postman with 3 kids that he knew of. No, actually, that was a joke around my house because my dad, before he happened onto the post office, had numerous jobs. And, there's 3 of us. I got 2 younger sisters. Dad worked at the let's see, what was Dad? Dad was a milkman, which used to be a job. They used to deliver milk to your house every morning.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, and that he done that when I was born, and then when my sister, just younger than me, was born, he was selling insurance, and then when he got on the post office, my youngest sister was born. So that used to be the joke that I was the milkman's kid, and my sister's was the insurance man's kid. Dad never liked that joke, but my mom used to tell it all the time. Yeah. Matter of fact, Dad still got one of them old. Outside every house used to be this metal container, and that was where they'd put your milk in there. They'd open it up and put it in there. And Dad still got one of them outside his house.
Oh, nice.
That's
a collectible.
Probably. That thing's got to be as old as I am, And shoot, the company he worked for hasn't even been in business for a lot of years. So, yeah. Excuse me. Candyman? No, I don't think he was ever the Candyman. Nuts. Don't know if he was ever that.
Or is she talking about the movie?
I don't know. Could be. I've seen the movie too. Of course, I'm a horror movie aficionado.
I've seen all 3 of them. Boy, I love them. Like actually, like one of my videos on my Psycho Rick channel is actually gonna be about that because they kind of made it like into like a little creepypasta.
Right.
Like what if he was real?
Right. No, she's no, so she's talking about the movie. Okay.
Oh yeah. And the guy that got to play it, man, it's like, man, that dude is awesome. Like Tony Todd, like, yeah, and he really talked like that too, with that big, deep, like bass in his voice and all that right there, man.
Oh yeah, I've seen him in other movies, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw like an interview where he was talking about like how they did the whole thing, like with the bees and all that right there, and he said, yeah, he actually did that, like in the first one where he had like the bees in his mouth and he was like kissing like the one lady. He said like, yeah, he had like a mouth guard in his mouth right there, and there were like all the bees up in there, and it's like, I think he said like throughout the whole entire like 3 movies, he got stung like 23 times, but his lawyer, like the way they had set it up, like every time he got stung, he got paid $1,000. So just think now, if he got stung 23 times, so $23,000 like that, like, man. Yeah. Plus what he was making with those movies. Oh, I'm very sure he made a killing. No.
I'd be trying to get him to sting me with that.
Like $1,000 a hit too. Shit.
Yeah, but I had heard that story about the bees in his mouth thing was real. He really done that. Be glad that he didn't get stung while that happened, though, because I know firsthand, unfortunately, that's not fun. Was all fishing with my cousin's husband one time when I was, I don't know, probably in my late 20s or early 30s, somewhere around there. Anyway, we were fishing and we didn't have a very good day. I mean, we enjoyed each other's company, but we didn't catch a lot of fish. But him and I both were the kind of person that you know, I don't have to catch fish to enjoy it. You know, we just enjoy the act of fishing and just sitting and being peaceful and enjoying nature and just talking with one another, you know. And we were leaving. We climbed up in his truck, and I had an open can of Mountain Dew in my lap. Reached down, took the drink out of it. What I didn't know is that a yellow jacket had flew in there and was now in my mouth. But I found it out real quick when it stung me. And so I turned and I spit that mouthful of Mountain Dew, being all over him while he's driving. He's like, "What'd you do that for?" And by that point, my tongue had already started to swell up from the sting. And I'm going, "I couldn't help it. And it did it in my mouth." It's like, "What?" I couldn't help it.
Oh, I can just imagine that pain. God.
It hurt. It didn't hurt for long though. But boy, my mouth sure swelled up for quite a while. Yeah, yellow jackets are little jerks. I'm not even sure they're officially a bee or if they're more a wasp. But I know they're jerks and they're little pains in the butt because when you, at least what we call yellow jackets here in Indiana, they hang around all the trash cans. If you've got a soda pop outside, they're all around it. They're just anywhere there's food, you know, you're always swatting them away.
Yeah, where I lived at, you know, we had a lot of plum and pear trees and things like that. That's where they like to mostly hang around the pear trees. But my biggest thing growing up was like, whoa, red wasp. Like, man.
Oh, yeah. We get them here too. Real quick, Ryan Rollins says yellow jacket or wasp. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, I would believe that. Yeah, we get the black and the red wasps here. Now, the black wasps are bad enough, but they generally won't go out of their way to be a jerk to you. You leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. Them red ones?
Oh, my God.
They're just plumb mean. They're evil.
Yeah, they were nice, man.
Them red ones are plumb evil. And they will just dare you to, "Come on, bro. Come get some."
Yeah. And especially like when you hate like you know, like when you forget they're there and they create that big giant nest, and it's like a whole bunch of them right there to I'm saying at one side to the fact where you're like, I ain't even going back there.
Yeah, I earned my hate for red wasp when I was about 8 years old. We lived in the house next door to where Dad still lives now, but it had a really, really big front yard. It had a big yard, but the house set way back on the property so that behind it was just enough yard to maybe drive a car through. So it set way back. So the front yard was huge. And I was running across the front yard and got knocked to my back. I felt like I'd been shot in the head. What had happened is while I was running, I crossed paths with one of them red wasps, and it landed on my head and it stung me 5 times before I could get it off. I'm like, right on the head tip of my forehead swole. I look like some alien. You know, some ET alien there with a big head. No, don't like them red wasps. And you know, a black wasp, I'll shoo them away. You know, and mud daubers, what we call mud daubers, you know, the real thin, strong.
Oh yeah,
I'll make them. I'll just shoo them away. Them red ones, no, I'll flat out kill them because I know shooing don't do no good. You shoo them, it just makes them mad, and they're gonna sting you.
So we eventually do like we give like one of them sprayers right there, like and one of my uncles or whatever, like said they'll end up feeling like with like gasoline or something like that, and then going around spraying the whole house trying to kill the whole nest.
Oh yeah.
And man, when that happens right there and they get stirred up, boy, I ain't going back there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and I'm not particularly afraid of bees and wasps and things like that. bees and stuff. Usually, I'll even bumblebees. My mom got mad one time because when I was a kid, she come out and she couldn't. There's me in the neighborhood. Was me and the neighborhood boy was just across the street. The house we lived in then, there was just a big field across the street, but we were not quite in the field. We were just right across the street. She couldn't tell what we were doing. We were swinging our hands around. And what we were doing is we'd found a bumblebee nest in the ground. And we were pouring stuff down that bumblebee nest and waiting for them to come up. And we was taking turns and swatting them with our hands, trying to swat them down and stomp them. See who was the toughest, who could take out the most. So and when she found out what she was doing, boy, she gave me a dressing down. You trying to get stung to death? I don't. They don't particularly scare me. And I'm not allergic. My mom was allergic, so she was afraid of them. But them red wasps, yeah, I don't fool with them dudes. Nope, they're kill on sight for me. But yeah, Jared Hart Norris is Michael Weiner. This is what you did for fun for kids. I mean, that's what we did. We done silly stuff like that for fun, Oh
yeah, and, especially living down in the South, man, in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, that's back in the days where you didn't have video games and stuff like that. So, you got in dirt clod fights and stuff
the
like
woods.
that. Yeah, going run around in the field or in the woods, and you made your own fun.
And that's when you ran up. That's when you ran up on all these crates of red walls and all these bees, right?
Yeah. I remember eventually those cornfields got bought up and they built warehouses over there across the street from Mom and Dad's. During the time that they were building those, there was a lot of construction material over there, obviously. And those great big wooden spools that they bring cable in on?
Yeah.
We used to take those, me and the neighborhood kids, knock a couple of boards out of the middle where we could climb inside the middle of it. And then that end of this street is on a hill. And we would we'd get to rolling, 3 or 4 of them would roll it down the hill with somebody inside of it. We'd take turns doing that. Of course, there's no way to guide it. If any car come or anything, you were screwed because there ain't no brakes. And trust me, the guy inside of it, he ain't seeing what's coming anyway because he's going around in circles. You get out of it, walk loopy because you're dizzy. But
that was just how we played.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we did to entertain ourselves. Thank you, Havoc, for the donation. Dirt clods, we used sweet gumballs. No, we used dirt clods, but when we played cowboys and Indians, there wasn't none of this pow pow, I got you. No, you didn't, you missed me. No, I got you. No, there was no doubt because we played with BB guns.
No.
Which, looking back now as an adult was an extremely stupid idea, but that's what we did.
Yeah, but we were kids back then, so shit.
Yeah. It was all fun. You had to make up your own fun, It wasn't like there was video games or what have you and you didn't even want to stay inside. Shoot, I remember when I was a kid, summertime when there was no school, I was up and out that door as soon as the sun was up.
No.
I'd beat my mom up in the morning, be outside, no shoes. I don't think the only time I put on a pair of shoes in the summertime was go to church, and just go out and run, and then wouldn't come in till after the street lights come on, Yeah.
Every Saturday, like I said, we was up before before the test channel was even over. 6 o'clock, man.
That's another thing that some people in the chat may not even know. The test pattern. Yeah. When Pat and I were younger, TV channels actually used to go off the air at night.
Mm.
About midnight, or depending on where you lived in the channel, about midnight, 1 o'clock, they'd go off the air. They'd end with the national anthem, and then you just get a test pattern, and just a tone going.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, and I think it was like what around 6 o'clock, 6:30. Then you get like the national anthem right there. You know, like what a jet be flying, or and it's right there saying the national anthem before everything comes on.
Yep.
Like I say, as soon as that happened right there, like, all right, here go cartoon, let's go.
Yep. Yep.
Get my GI Joe, my Transformers, my He-Man, my Thundercats, all
Well,
that right there.
I had the GI Joe, but I had the old school 12-inch tall GI Joe.
Mm.
Back when they first were made and come out. And it was GI Joe and Johnny West. Johnny West was the same type, but he was a cowboy.
Mm.
And that was before they made GI Joe a much smaller figure.
Yeah, like this is me back in the 80s. So it was like between that and the cartoons, like, oh man. Like our cartoons back then compared to them now, it's like these kids don't know.
Oh, well, do you remember when it was an event? Because in the fall, which is back then is when they usually premiered the new shows for the season. But cartoons would premiere their new cartoons for the season too. And there'd be a special show for all the networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS is what you had back then for networks. Would premiere there'd be a day like the a week before they would premiere on Saturday morning. They'd premiere what the new upcoming cartoons were going to be, and that was on prime time.
Yeah, because they had like a lot of TV show guests that be doing them. I think one time I seen like what Mr. T and Punky Brewster coming out right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
That's when the cartoons were coming out. Like, my God, Mr. T got a cartoon, and then Punky Brewster coming out with a cartoon and all that right there, along with the Smurfs and all. I just had my childhood was great. It's like,
yeah. I remember that, and they were on prime time, so you'd bug your parents to let you watch it because they wanted to watch their shows. But no, I want to see what cartoons are coming out, please.
and she's trying to watch L.A. Law.
Yeah. Or in Mom's case, it was probably more like Matlock, or Mom did like her lawyer shows. Pee-wee's Playhouse, Cynical Lindsay, the only Saturday morning show I watched in the 80s that was after my time. That was by the time I was getting ready to have a family myself, or was already having family myself.
Yeah, this was up in the 80s. Yeah. Like I told you, I could sit up here and I can name all this stuff all day. Like I said, yeah, you had Pee-wee's Playhouse, you had Beekman's World. This is before,
I got married in 1982. So, that was a little after my, but I still watch cartoons. You better bet you I'd get up early on Saturday morning if I could and watch cartoons with my kids.
Oh yeah, man, Boomerang. Oh God.
I remember when the X-Men cartoon first came out, the one that was on Fox in the 90s. Man, heck yeah. And Animaniacs. I was right there with the kids as soon as it come on. No, I ain't missing this. Oh.
That Tiny Toon.
I don't know if you heard, but my wife's over there saying, no, I had 4 kids. She's talking about me.
I know, like I said, when the good cartoons came on, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit down. Like I'm gonna watch this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really know a whole lot about cartoons today because I don't watch them, but they've removed that that feeling of anticipation and looking for it. You know, when cartoons were mainly, yeah, we had cartoons through the week, you know, at least here locally, and I'm sure we were like anybody else. We had a cartoon show for kids in the early morning, and then there was another one at noon, and then there was another one like right after kids got out of school.
Yeah, around 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and they'd show Popeye cartoons and Mighty Mouse and stuff like that, you know. And but the big anticipation was for Saturday. Saturday was for kids.
Oh yeah, man. Shoot.
You know, and parents knew that their kid, they could sleep in because the kids are just they're gonna get up, make themselves a bowl of cereal, and sit there and watch cartoons.
Exactly. Like I said, I was up before the test channel was even over, so it's like you already know you have to worry about me.
Yeah. So with the cartoons today, there not being a special day like that for them, that anticipation is gone, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. It's like, man, Saturday mornings was the days I just looked forward to. Like, man. Like I said, not only do we have good cartoons, even even our action cartoons that was somewhat violent, you know, they had a lesson to learn. Like, you know, but like in the end, they'd have them like those public service announcements in the end, like on G.I. Joe and He-Man and She-Ra and all of them right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they ain't got them like that no more, man.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I grew up on Popeye cartoons and the Three Stooges. You know,
Popeye got my ass whooped as a kid, man.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, making me think I need spinach and whoop some big dude's ass.
But yeah, I mean that's just what I grew up on, you know. And who's that? Oh, that's Datus, the Schoolhouse Rock. Heck yeah, Schoolhouse Rock.
Yep.
That was my introduction to history and government. You know, there's a reason I still remember some of those things because of Schoolhouse Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate we learned our multiplication shoot. Like I told you, man, that energy one that really got me right there.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
Oh,
and I'm
big
here on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't give it conjunction junction.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites.
I said, boy, like kids these days, man. And another thing they won't understand things like this, like all the little mascots we used to have. Like we used to have stuff like what? Smokey Bear, Smokey the Bear, Woodsy the Owl, Louie the Lightning Bug, all them right there, man. Like McGruff the Crime Dog. They don't know nothing about that these days.
Nah. Like I said, I don't know much about cartoons today. I don't watch them.
I watch some, but you know, a lot of them they just like, what is this?
And now, yesterday, you know, while I was watching the kids, I let the 4-year-old, when we was watching, pick what she wanted to watch on Netflix. You know, I was trying to find something to keep her busy, you know, and she wanted to watch something. So, okay, what do you want to watch? And of course, and you all know I'm not about the anime at all. You know, if you are, that's cool. I'm not putting you down for it, but I'm just not. I don't, and I don't like it. And I'm like, say, what do you want to watch? I want to watch Pokemon. Of course you do.
Ooh, that is Power Ranger.
I had to sit through like at least 2 episodes of Pokemon before I got her distracted into watching something else.
Mo, you know you like that intro. We all live in a Pokemon world.
My wife kept looking at me. I think she was afraid I was going to break my eyeballs because they kept rolling. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
Yeah.
And it was the episodes about Trigglypuff.
Oh God.
Like, oh man. No.
Yeah, the one that sang and put everybody to sleep.
Yep. That was it. I'm like, this little dude's a jerk. Because it would sing and put everybody to sleep and then run around and draw with a marker on their face because it was mad because they fell asleep. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
Anchor, Illinois. And I remember the Herculoids. Yeah. I remember Space Ghost when it was serious. It wasn't some not
Oh man.
parody.
Oh yeah, before they made that Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, and Birdman before he became a parody too.
it's, but let's see, what did I get her? Oh, I finally got her off into watching Shrek, which I could handle a lot better than that. Yeah, but yeah. And then when she did wake up and come downstairs, she never even hit the bottom of the stairs. And the TV's around the corner. No way she could see the TV. And before she even hit the bottom of the stairs, I don't like that. I want to change the channel. See, you don't even know what it is, you doof.
Yeah. Well, you could have gotten the Looney Tunes, you know.
Yeah, Looney Tunes or Animaniacs. I'd be okay with any of that. Love me some Animaniacs. Love the old Looney Tunes.
Oh man. Oh yeah, I love Looney Tunes. Only characters I couldn't stand, man. I couldn't stand Tweety. I couldn't stand Roadrunner.
You didn't like Roadrunner, really?
No, I didn't like Roadrunner. I was
Oh, he
like,
was one of my favorites.
man, why Wile E. Coyote used to get on my nerves. I know you can catch that thing right there and stop. Get on my nerves with all that meat, man. Man, catch that thing.
Data. Oh, dude, the old school original Johnny Quest was my favorite cartoon of all time. Still is. I would watch it right now if I had it on like a DVD. I love that cartoon. I actually come across one episode on the internet, and it's hard to find because it's considered not politically correct anymore because of Haji and so forth.
Yeah, I know when the SJW started going on there right there, I'm like, oh, you mother.
But I did find one episode on online one time and showed it to my grandsons, and they loved it. I'm like, yeah, see, this is the kind of cartoons Papa grew up on. You know, not them stupid Pokemon.
Then that shit with Big Mouth and all that right there. It's like they try. No, somebody told me to watch that anime, but it's like they told me about it in a review, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to even give this a try because I know they're gonna say something I don't like. It's like,
Yeah, Gumby and Pokey, absolutely. I had a Gumby and Pokey, had both of them, the toys. Yeah, had them all.
oh, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, and Mammy Two Shoes. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Which always stood out to me because that's what I called my grandmother. My grandmother, we all called her Mammy, you know, with zero idea in our head that it would be considered racist. It's just what we called her.
Yeah. Thomas, come get this mouse.
Yeah.
Well, hey, shoot, Mammy was fun to watch.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Deck Train says Care Bears. That was a little after my time. My kids enjoyed those. You know, I am familiar with them because, you know, like I said, I always sat down and watched cartoons with my kids. You know.
No, I was a little boy at the time, so Care Bears, yeah, that wasn't up my lane, you know.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was one of my favorites, but I am familiar with it. You know, the girls would like Care Bears. J Kid was more in his favorite was well, he was really into He-Man. What little boy in that era wasn't?
I'm saying.
And the Thundercats though was his favorite. And right now he owns the entire run of the original Thundercats on DVD.
Oh yay.
So yeah, he was all about He-Man and the Thundercats. That was more his style.
Yeah, That was one thing about the cartoons. Like I said, growing up, I had to show my sisters, like like why I'm saying one time I'm saying I got to watch mine, things like that. Next thing you know, I'm sitting right here, and now she got to watch her strawberry shortcake and her rainbow bright and her My Little Pony back that My Little Pony back in the day before this one came out. So yeah, this one this day I can get into compared to that one. That one was too girly.
Oh, thank you, Sean DW. I was actually thinking just that. Thundar the Barbarian. Yeah, that was a great cartoon. Didn't last.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Wonderful World of Hanna Barbera when it came on. Like it had a lot of cartoons coming out, like what Goldar and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Aslan says, even though it's anime, Speed Racer? Question mark. I watched some Speed Racer, but back then we didn't call it anime. It was called Japanimation. I mean, that's true. That's just what we called it. There was Speed Racer, and there was a spinoff called Racer X.
Oh, they mentioned classic Voltron. Oh, how can you not like that, man? Come on now. When that theme music came on, that was it.
And having said that, and you know that's a risk when you come on one of my streams, Pat. I'm gonna have to ask you to try to carry the stream for a couple of minutes while I go to the restroom.
All right, I'm gonna try to do my best.
Alrighty, I'll be right back.
All right. All right, what's up, chat, y'all? Like I said, this is your boy Pat right here on Blood Wings channel. Like I said, if you can, do us all a favor, like, share, subscribe, because you know how YouTube is with some of our channels right here. They don't like to share our stuff, but it's up to us to try to, get everybody out there. And also, if you can, donate to the Streamlabs, and just help Bloodwing out. He's a good dude right there, man. Should love coming to her a whole lot of time. Like talking to him, especially when we get to talking to things like this. All right, so what's everybody doing out there in the chat right now? I know we was talking about all this old school right here, and I saw what Angry Illinois and talking about Silverhawks and Voltron. Oh man, Voltron, God, that was one of my shows right there. I told you, growing up in the '80s, man, I grew up on so many action cartoons. It's like it ain't what it used to be. Like they still got some good shows out there, but it just ain't like how it was in my childhood. There you go. Oh yeah, every time we got off of school, like I said, around 4 o'clock, there was I'm saying there was a couple of cartoons here and there that was I'm saying that was worth watching. But most of all, it's like, man, it's like these days now, it's like, hey, if you want to watch anything good, it's like 9 times out of 10, you either got to find it on Netflix or you got to find it on YouTube, and you really got to look into it and things like that, because this stuff out here today, no, 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 no. Yeah, I'll say even Disney back in the day, man, it's like, you had the old school Mickey, Donalds, and Goofies right there. And those cartoons, like I said, a lot of them were dark back then, man. It's like some of them, I'm saying, some of them old school Mickey cartoons and things like that, like, man. That's it. Rescue Rangers, like I said, I didn't get into it that much. I'm saying I got into DuckTales though.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'd have been back sooner, but I couldn't get my earbuds untangled.
It's like now it's like they coming into most of the cartoons now that came out in the '90s. And
yeah. And speaking of cartoons, even though it's not really a cartoon, but we those that enjoy it like a cartoon. This week's Redneck Trek. Let me talk to you a little bit about it. And those that are on that follow me on Twitter probably already know. Since I was gone all day yesterday, and that's usually my big day to script and record the voiceovers, there's a chance that Redneck Trek may not make it out by its proper time tomorrow, because I haven't been able to do any of that. Because by the time I got home yesterday from my daughter's house, I was just too pooped. Way too pooped. I couldn't even think straight. But I'm still going to try to get it done, but I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. Please understand if this week's episode doesn't get out. You know, yeah, no, I won't do 2 next week to make up for it. My wife says, uh, Streamlabs, make sure you support the creators, preferably via my site. Well, if that's for real, Streamlabs, yeah, that do it.
Yeah. Make sure you donate to the Make sure you donate to the Streamlab.
That's right. Yeah, because it doesn't take a chunk like YouTube does. I know some of you can't though, because I don't have the credit cards open. But and a little bit of a heads up, also about Redneck Trek. Star Trek Online just done a major update just recently in the last couple of weeks. And they've introduced a whole bunch of new content. What they're trying to do is bring in the Kelvin timeline into it. The movies, the more recent movies, that timeline. That's what they're trying to do. But in doing that, they've also changed some cutscenes and stuff in the missions that already exist. Well, the mission that we're actually next up for chronologically, if you've been watching Redneck Trek, is glitched and it's unfinishable. You can't finish it. There's you're supposed to fight these Romulans and then follow this Reman out of the solar system and then that brings you to the next scene of the mission. Well, after you fight the Romulans, the Reman never reappears to follow him. So there you are, stuck with nowhere to go. And I've been looking online. It's a big problem. Everybody's getting it. I sent in a bug report for it and all that. But even though I can skip it, further episodes might not make very much sense because this is a really important part of this storyline that I'm on with the Romulans. And I'm like, crap. So since I couldn't do that, there's a brand new mission out that everybody gets now that they've added this new content having to do with that. It actually has more to do with the Discovery Star Trek show than anything. But yeah, that's what it'll be about this week. So hopefully they get that mission fixed and I can go back and do it. If not, we may have to skip it. So haven't decided yet how I'm going to fill everybody in on what's going on in the story. If they don't get that fixed. But,
no.
But yeah, anywhere, there you are. If I get a chance to record the voiceovers, that's the main thing right now. I should be able to get it out if I stick with it tonight in editing. That's the big thing is I'm such a slow editor. I'm so slow. Yeah. I mean, I'm learning to do better each week, but I'm slow. Gosh.
Like the biggest thing would be sacrificing game night with Irate Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah. It just wanted to give everybody a heads up. And the whole babysitting thing was the last minute. I didn't find out I had to do that until late night the night before. Oh, by the way, we have to go babysit the kids. This is like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, what? Okay. Oh, take a drink of coffee there. Thank you, Willingham. What is Redneck Trek? What? You don't know Redneck Trek is?
Man, where have you been?
Yeah, Redneck Trek is content that I put out on Sundays at 5:30. It premieres at 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time. And it's basically what it is. It's me playing Star Trek Online, the game. But I voice over it and play a character Captain B.J. Hickenlooper, the first redneck captain in Starfleet, and the crew of his ship, the USS Hold My Beer. That, in a nutshell, is what Redneck Trek is. It's just a little funny I put out. Generally lasts anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. It's kind of like the old school machinimas, like Red versus Blue, if you ever watched that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like I got it on Netflix. Like,
yeah. So, it's just my attempt at comedy that some people find entertaining and funny.
I know you gotta check it out. Willingham is great.
Oh, hey, Alex.
There you go.
Yeah, Michael Weiner is probably my biggest fan. Of course, I think that's because he's in love with my first officer, Taco. So, it's actually because I've been having so much fun doing Redneck Trek. My mind has started going toward that kind of content. I would never stop doing these live streams. They would, but we've all kind of had to move away from the political, social reaction channels we used to do in the old days.
Yeah.
And I've kind of thinking of that, but it's a lot more work than you may think, and I don't know if I could pull it off. In fact, just earlier today, I finally downloaded the new map, which was free for Ark, the survival series Ark, with the dinosaurs and stuff. I think it's called Valguero, something like it. Valguero, I think is right.
No, Ark.
Yeah, and
I know my daughter plays that. It's supposed to be a new season pass is supposed to be coming out sometime next year.
Yeah. And anyway, while I was downloading that, I was thinking, I could use this for another series. I could do that. And I thought, where are you going to find time, boy? Where in the heck do you think you're going to find time to do all that? Because an episode of Redneck Trek, for me, if I was faster at editing, it wouldn't take this long. But for me, takes 2.5 to 3 days to do, including recording the footage, the scripting it, the voiceovers, the editing, finding the music for each episode, all that stuff.
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 days per episode. So, Maddie says it's an absolute.
Yeah, and that's if you're putting something together. And it's like, imagine the ones that be doing it professionally. It's like they'd be taking them like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they have to do the same thing. And then like I'm saying, they're hiring other voice actors and things like that. One comes in and does this scene and another. Like, it's easier said than done. It's like,
Yeah. Well, I've said before many times that my inspiration is Neebs Gaming, which is a channel that play different games, and that's what they do is they dramatize it. Although they break the fourth wall quite a lot, they demolish that fourth wall. It's not like they don't know they're playing a video game, but they will voice it like it's a real event going on, and it's unscripted. And but there's like 5 of them guys, plus at least 2 editors, and I think there's a 3rd editor named Jack that just come on board in recent weeks. And so yeah, I thought
they got a huge team.
I thought it would be easier, but for me, that's the biggest part is coming up with things to say and make sure that it's entertaining and humorous, because there's only one of me. And when there's only one of you, it's hard to fill 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But Angular Annoyance says, I cannot see it on my phone. How many likes we got? Well, according to my page that I'm looking at, it says 35. 52 watching, 35 likes. But
mine says 22. I guess I haven't. I'm on my phone right now, so it doesn't update as it goes.
Yeah. And Opinionated Scotsman says 36 your hand. Yeah, who knows? With Google, with YouTube, who knows? It's somewhere around there. One of them numbers might be right.
Hit that like button, people.
Mr. Dax, what do you think of Foundry missions on STO? Haven't used them. I know what they are. I know what Foundry missions are, and they're trying to move away from that because reasons, I guess. But haven't really played any, so I couldn't tell you. Foundry missions are more or less user-created missions in the game. You have that ability in the Foundry to be able to create your own missions and then put them out there for people to play. But haven't really played any of the Foundry missions yet. Lately, I haven't even been playing much STO except for what I have to play to record Redneck Trek. Star Trek Online. My wife just gave me the funniest look, like, what are you talking about STO? What's STO? Sorry. I couldn't help but notice her funny look at me. But yeah, I haven't really played too much of those or experienced it. I haven't tried to make any myself. Sorry. So I guess I don't have much of an opinion.
All right.
Hey Jack, how you doing?
Oh, Jack Dunsky in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he be inviting me on on this game of night. Like I said, it'd be happening on Tuesdays. I made it this week, like I said, but the week before that I couldn't make it because Twitter was messing around with me, and he had sent me the link through there, and I'm like, oh god.
Right now, they just happen too late for me, because folks, I'm an old fart, and I got to get up early in the mornings to go take my grandkids to school. And it's not an easy drive. I have to drive all the way across town before I can get them, and then all the way back. Just to give you an idea, when I take them to school, I'm usually in the car about 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. So, yeah, it's not an easy drive. It's through a rough part of town to drive through, too. So I don't want to do that if I'm too sleepy. So I'm not able to stay up too late these days through the week. Yeah. Wished I could, because that is my natural inclination, is to stay up late. But
I know for me to do that, it's like as soon as I get off of work around noon or 1 o'clock, it's like I gotta instantly go to sleep right then and there. So that way I wake up around the time, Monkey No stream are coming on. So I'm up about, and I have like a little, like energy and things like that. But other than that, it's like if I don't go to sleep before 5 o'clock, I'm missing everything at night.
Yeah. Mr. Dax says, I just thought that it would be a good, decent way to create more custom content for the show. Yeah. And I've heard that the editor is pretty bad. I've got ways that I can come up with content. It's not like if this mission stays glitched for a little while that I don't have things I can do, because you have things that are called, what are they called? But there's a certain type of mission, patrol missions is what you got. And you just go to, there are some solar systems that you can go to and you can patrol them. And there'll be like a really short storyline to go with that, that happens. So I can do those things. And there's other things I can do. One thing you won't see me do is see me do PvP, because I don't do PvP on MMOs. I don't like it. And every time the game tries to force me to do PvP, which it does every once in a while, I skip the missions. So you guys never see that. It's like, no, I don't get along well with others. Leave me alone. Yeah, and they've now added more patrols. You're right, Mr. Dax. Yeah, they've added quite a bit more content. They're trying to spruce up some of the missions. I applaud what they're trying to do, but in doing that, they broke this mission that was next in line. So That stuff happens when you've been around games and MMOs and stuff as long as I have. You realize that with every major update comes something busted. They're going to break something.
Oh yeah.
It's just part of being a gamer, you know.
I know me. I'm more recreational now. It's like I don't know. I just can't get into the online gaming. I can watch. I can watch people like Satsu and them play it, like I say, all day, every day. But it's like I can't do it myself. I'm more one of those types of, because I never have the time to like really like sit down and get into it. So it's like, hey, I just pick it up, play like something to relax, and then just go on my merry way.
Yeah. You would probably like, if you like watching people play the game, you would probably like Neebs Gaming that you hear me and Alex mention all the time.
Mhm.
Because they're very entertaining, hugely funny. Those guys got a great, what would you call it? They got a great relationship, but that's not the word I was talking about. You can tell they generally like each other a lot, and they work
Mhm.
very well together. Thank you, Willie Ham, for the donation. I can buy either a 12 gauge or a 22. What do you think I should get? Depends on what you want to do. You know, if you want to go rabbit hunting, you probably better get a shotgun.
Yep.
But if not, then you can consider the 22. Although you may think I'm making this up, but I'm not. I used to hunt squirrels with a 22 just to make it more challenging. So chemistry, Mr. Dax. Thank you. They got a very good chemistry. It sucks to get old and your brain don't work. You know what you want to say, but it just won't get out there, you know?
But like, what's that word I'm looking for?
Uh yeah, Angry Illinois, that's where you say buggy game and move on. Yep. This mission has been broken for like a couple of weeks now, and they still haven't fixed it yet. So I may have to skip it. So I apologize ahead of time if it doesn't make sense, but I'll try to do it in such a way that I can tie up what happens in the mission that I had to skip. Some way so that
Hey,
it makes sense
in the
for me.
chat.
Hey Sinatra, how you doing? Um Bad comic reviews would like to talk to you about hunting squirrels. you know, I'm just telling you the truth. I used to hunt squirrels with a 22 just to make it more challenging.
I can't wait for deer season to kick in and stuff like that. Who's gonna be selling the deer jerky?
Oh, my aunt used to make the best spicy deer jerky. Oh
Man,
my gosh. Oh, it was so good. And she's since passed away now, but oh man, it was so good.
mm.
I'll be like, Aunt Wanda, you got any more of that, that deer? Well, it's not even deer season yet. I don't care. I want some. Gotta have it.
I said that. And that's how I am. As soon as deer season roll around, things like that, I was like, y'all already know. Like I said, hey, if y'all got deer jerky, deer sausage, anything like that, and everything, y'all hit me up on Facebook. And hey, it's me. I'm in
Oh
y'all
yeah,
real soon.
they can make a really good summer sausage out of venison. Out of
Man,
yeah.
at venison sausage, woo. Because I be telling them straight up, like y'all already know, hit me up, man, as soon as you can. Like I
Yep.
said, deer season for me is kind of like like pumpkin spice from season for like a lot of these white girls around.
Yeah, that's gone too far though. You heard about the pumpkin spice spam, right?
Oh yeah, I heard about that right there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
guy,
taking
daddy,
it too far. That's too far.
I like spam, but I don't like it that much. Yeah. The furthest I'll go is the teriyaki.
I don't think I've had the teriyaki spam. I've had the
Oh, the
bacon
teriyaki.
spam. I've had the jalapeno spam. But I don't think I've ever had teriyaki. I don't think.
Oh yeah, I like it. It's good to me.
Well, I like teriyaki jerky, so I would probably like that. Um, Mike Savage says I used a 22 for rabbit hunting. There's only one hole in them after and no buckshot. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's a little bit more of a challenge. You got to be a better shot with that 22 than the shotgun. Because with the shotgun, you can be close and still get it. With 22, you got to be right on target.
And, unless you're them two ladies from Barcelona.
Yeah.
I bet after that night, right, they probably want to look at another rabbit.
Oh, I bet not. I still don't know what they expected to happen. You're stealing somebody's property.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. You expect them to just lay down and say, okay, go ahead and steal our stuff.
Yeah, they look at them saying, she just got a scratch upside the face. Like anybody else would have been man.
Straight Shift Male's asking you if you've ever had bison jerky.
No, I've never had.
I don't think I have either. I may have. I've had a lot of jerky over the years. It's one of my favorite things. I love jerky. It's just so stinking expensive for such a small bag.
Mm-hmm. I've had deer, I've had turkey, I've had beef, man. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite so far is my aunt's spicy deer jerky. That's just, oh gosh, that's hard to beat.
Oh, man.
But speaking of brands, see the Wendy's board game? No, I haven't seen that. Wendy's has got a board game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kyler, I have had bison burgers. Now I've ate bison. I've just never had bison jerky.
He's a bison burger. I never had that either. Like, dang, I'm missing out on some stuff. Where y'all get this?
Yeah, bison is it's much leaner than regular beef. I mean, it's similar in taste, not exactly, but similar. But it's much leaner and much redder meat. It's good, very good.
Yeah, need to look it up. Like I said, where do you get a good bison burger?
I don't think I've ever ate anywhere that actually served bison burgers, but I've bought bison meat at the grocery store before.
I see Angady's vegan some more.
Yeah. Unholy Reaper says it's a tabletop RPG for Wendy's.
I heard about that. I thought that was a joke.
Well, I'm not real surprised because I've seen stuff from the Wendy's Twitter account, and they're pretty good at trolling.
Yeah, especially going after McDonald's and Burger King.
Yeah,
the stuff that they be saying.
Yeah, they're pretty good at trolling, which I appreciate. It makes me laugh. But Diesel Dave says there's a restaurant in Oklahoma that serves bison and ostrich. I think there's more than one because I know of at least one in Oklahoma. I have family friends that live in Oklahoma. Jen says, yeah, but one bison can get you a heck of a lot of meat. Yeah, they can. That's one of the reasons they went almost extinct.
Man. Especially back in them cowboy and Indian days. Like,
yeah. And Lord, they are one ornery critter.
Yeah.
I've
seen them fight. Like, God.
I've seen them in real life. My uncle used to have one back when I was a preteen probably. And man, that thing was ornery. And it didn't like me for some reason. Anytime I get even close to the fence, it was trying to get out to get at me. I'm like, I don't think he likes me.
That's all because I watched one of them shows where they show like when they fighting for like mating rights and stuff like that. The way they sitting up there butting heads, I'm like, God, no. How are they not knocking each other out?
And that's a lot of tonnage. That's a lot of poundage on the hook there, folks. That's bigger than most cows right there. That's a big feller and mean.
I'm saying they showed them too, like in full moon. All you hear is just that big thunder and just wow. One just like sit up there, shake it off, back up, and they just wow, sitting up there just sounding like just thunder. Like God, no, they
They ain't bison ain't no joke, and they're very very ill tempered. And that's a mistake people will make sometimes. You see these videos of people getting their cars bashed by a buffalo or bison or something because they they're similar to a cow. They're bovine, and they're used to cows being somewhat mild mannered, and yeah, that ain't so. They're they're not very nice critters. Not very nice at all.
Yeah. It is. It's all that PTSD. They see something on like say, yeah, you used to hunt my family. Boom.
You guys try to wipe us out.
That's what it is. Like, you ain't finna shoot me right here.
Take
that. I got your bow and arrow, god damn it.
Yeah, and Mr. Dex says, and even mild animals can attack you. That's right. You corner, you get them in the wrong spot. I remember years ago, a fellow I knew, there was a gopher running across the ground, and he decides he's going to go chase that gopher and kick it. And he chased it, and where he was at, it was fenced in, and he chased it into the fenced in corner, and took a swipe at it with his foot. And when he brought his foot back, that gopher was still on his foot and ate him alive. He's running around there screaming, "It's killing me! It's killing me! Get it off!" We had tried to warn him to leave that gopher alone because, and it bit right through his cowboy boots and everything, messed him up.
Like kick at this.
Yeah.
You think something harmless until hey, back it up into a corner.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh.
The wife and I used to raise hamsters years and years ago for extra money, and I'll tell you what, you'd try to change their cage, and hamsters, like any other animal, they all got their own disposition. Some were nice, some were not nice, and the not nice ones you'd have to corner them to catch them and put them in another cage so you can clean their cage. And boy, I tell you what, that little bitty hamster, you get him cornered, he's coming out fighting. he may not win, but
hey, but he gonna put up a fight.
Yep.
I like guinea pigs more than I do hamsters.
I don't mind guinea pigs. It's just that they do have a smell about them. And I'm not talking about their cage or anything. They have a musk gland. It's a little bit of a smell. I have a real sensitive sniffer, so yeah. Y'all are kicking gophers, eating wasps. Shake my head. Hey, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games till somebody puts an eye out.
And so far, so good. Like I say, I still got all my limbs.
Yeah. It's a wonder. Like I said, we used to play BB gun, play cowboys and Indians with BB guns. It's a wonder. Nobody ever lost an eye
Exactly. I'm surprised I haven't broken a bone. Many times I don't fell out of trees.
My cousin did end up with a pellet stuck in his toe one time when we were playing, but that's because the person that shot him pumped it up too many times.
I was one of those where you had to you had to cock it up and, like I said, get so much air into it.
Yeah, keep pumping it. The more you pump it, the more powerful it was. Yeah. You could pump up one of them pellet guns if you had enough arm strength to be as powerful as a 22.
Yeah, yep.
But Mr. Dax says, yeah, they have a gland in their rears, talking about the guinea pigs. Yeah. And I don't care how clean you keep them. Because I do have a really sensitive nose. I inherited it from mother. I always smell it. I'm like, yeah. It stinks. Faithless is,
No,
I've
no,
had a BB
I'm
in my
always
face for the last 35 years. Dang, dude.
what the dang.
Yeah, that was one of our rules. You wasn't supposed to shoot at the head. I mean, we weren't completely stupid.
I am. That's a new definition of headshot. Like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother did that with slingshots, but yeah, similar idea and just lightly take an eye out. Some of those slingshots are no joke. I had a slingshot that was designed to hunt with. You could kill an animal with it, so it would put the hurt on a human being too. It was a very strong metal slingshot, and even had an arm brace that went all the way back to your elbow, and you had to strap it on.
Oh, well, those like I don't know what they call the ones where I'm saying where you like put the rock in, you have to twist it around.
Yeah. Kyler says, yeah, we called them wrist rockets. That's what we called them. But you would generally use ball bearings as ammo, and yeah, they would do the job.
Yeah, if you had the accuracy for it.
Yeah.
Fwing.
Yeah, mine was pretty good. I missed a shot and knocked the sight off of it. It had a little sight down on the bottom, and I kind of misjudged where I had it pulled back and knocked the sight off of it with the ball bearing. Yeah, I had that slingshot for years. It's probably still around somewhere. But okay. Jen says my dad gave it to him for archery shoots so he could keep himself busy. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And archery was my BB gun. Ain't nothing wrong with archery.
Oh no.
Being a redneck, I got a lot of family that hunts, and most of them will hunt both seasons, on whatever animal it is. They'll do bow season and gun season, so yeah.
I never learned how to shoot a bow.
I never did either. I mean, I've shot one a few times, but I never had any lessons or anybody really to coach me like I did with guns. My grandmother, the one I called Mammy, was the one that taught me how to shoot. I never really had that with bows.
Mm-hmm. They taught me how to. I'm saying they taught me how to hunt. They taught me how to shoot a gun. Taught me how to, like I'm saying, skin an animal and things like that. I never could do like the throat slashing and the, like the
yeah. I mean,
have it up to.
I mean,
yeah,
and isn't it funny? It makes you think of funny. I can skin and gut an animal, no problem. Not even think twice about it,
Yeah.
But if I see a human being injured, bleeding, yeah, that's a different story. Took my dad to the doctor the other day, as I had mentioned, and at one point he had to get a blood test, and I had to wheel him in there, and they're asking Dad. Well, I was asking where you want him because I knew they had to take his blood, and they said, "Well, right here." And I said, "Okay, he's there," and I'm going right over here because I don't want to watch. They were laughing at me, and I'm like, "Hey, you don't want to have to pick me off the floor, right?"
And But yeah, like I said, I can see this deer, man. I can see this deer right here just fight for his life as I'm saying, as the blood is coming out of his damn throat and stuff like that. I can watch that all day, every day. But
Yeah.
ah,
Uh,
and just think, being military, you think I'd be used to something like that.
yeah.
Ah,
College says I got taught the bow in high school. They don't do that anymore. When I was in
no.
school, only, and I know this sounds sexist, but remember, I'm a boomer. I was a kid in the 60s. Uh, Girls were the only one that took archery, so it was considered a girl's sport back then. I don't know why, but you
Because of what?
she said because the males were all too much pansy.
So if you was ever run away from your girlfriend back then, make sure she didn't have a damn
Yeah,
bow.
make sure she didn't have a bow. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Oh, you think?
Of course, when I was a kid, it was nothing. I went to a very big high school, huge. I mean, my graduating class in January. These are the people that graduate in January, not even the May grads, the main graduation class. These were we were fortunate enough to have a January graduation, so that if you had enough credits, you could graduate then, get a head start. And my January class was 272 kids.
Oh, dang.
That's how many seniors graduated. I went to a very, very large school. But even then, it was not uncommon to pull into the school parking lot and see all kinds of pickup trucks with, shotguns and hunting rifles in the back window, because kids were going to either go hunting before or after school, you know.
Yep. As I said, living up in the country, that was like that was like one of our things right there. In this, I'm saying.
Yep. Of course, now if you roll in there with one in the back window of your truck, they're probably going to arrest you.
Because
And
times have changed. People have gotten too fucking sensitive.
yep.
Hey,
Angry Illinois says that would be enough reason for me to join archery, right? Right? Just proves how
yeah,
dumb we were at that age.
the girls.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Ebony Williams says, "Hey Jen, and yes, I've always found archery interesting. I find it interesting. Uh, I just never got to do it much, and I've never had a tremendous amount of arm strength. I'm a scrawny guy, you know. I mean, I'm stronger. I've always been stronger than I look, but you know, I'm probably not going to pick up a bow with a really heavy draw tension on it and be able to use it.
And then, like I said, my extreme, my extreme, damn accuracy ain't really that much these days now.
Yeah. However, put a rifle in my hand and I can pick the eyes off a
Oh,
fly. So we got about 15 minutes left to go. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions a little early, if you like. Not that some of you haven't been asking questions and stuff, and that's okay, because that's, when I started these streams, that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a two-way conversation. I wanted that to be the thing that set my streams apart from some other streams that are out there, because everybody does a stream these days.
Mm-hmm.
In that I wanted to be a conversation between me and you the people that are watching. So Ebony Williams' favorite dessert, well, that would be rhubarb pie. Love me.
Cheesecake for me.
That's close. I do love me some cheesecake. And In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I've got a cheesecake mix in there in the kitchen somewhere, just dying to be fixed. I might have to get on that.
That's money right there. I love me some cheesecake.
Yeah. Angry Annoyance says that is the reason I like these so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate. I'm glad somebody sees what I try to do and appreciates it. I'm glad. Let's see. I just passed a place that serves grape pie. Ooh,
Pie.
I don't know that I've ever heard of grape pie, and I'm a redneck.
Me neither. I'm like, man, I heard of gooseberry pie, but not no grape.
Ooh, we had gooseberry bushes in my yard growing up, and Mom used to make gooseberry pie and different things with the gooseberries. Make gooseberry jam, and if you fix it right, it's good. But boy, if you don't know what you're doing, those things can be sour. Whew. We used to challenge each other as kids to see who could eat one without making faces. You know.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Yeah. And of course, Mom would yell at us, "Quit eating all my gooseberries." We had a huge mulberry bush too. We'd be back there just eating our fill of mulberries until Mom
the
would come out
mulberry,
and yell at us, "Quit eating them mulberries, you'll get worms."
Yeah, my grandma and aunt, they used to make that. They used to make that mulberry wine.
Yeah.
That is like, it used to be like that mulberry wine. They used to make it out of mustard.
Yep.
And man, and the can, I'm saying, oh, the canned peaches, oh God.
We had peach trees too. They were the white freestones.
Woo.
I live in the city, well, it's considered in the city limits. And and Dad's got like, what's he got there? About a lot and a half. So, a big yard, but we're not talking acreage here, like tons of acres. But in that one yard, we had apple trees, we had peach trees, we had strawberry patch, we had a grapevine, apricot trees,
Plum trees.
no, but there was plum trees next door.
Oh
Had
man,
English
like
walnut tree, persimmon trees. Oh man, those persimmons are good, but gosh, they make a mess.
God, man.
Mulberry bush. We just had everything in that yard. Yeah. Now, and a lot of that stuff's been cut down since, but yeah, when I was a kid, we had it all. And back then, Mom used to can,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if people even still can anymore. And if they don't, it's a shame.
I'd say probably some do, like I said, especially if they still live like in my little hometown where I grew up at. Oh man, there's still a whole lot of them that still do that down there.
But have I ever eat pawpaws? Yeah, no, Data. I know what one is. Never eat one.
Now, what's a pawpaw?
It's a fruit, kinda. It's kind of hard to explain, but no, I've never ate one. Never eat crab apples either. Some people say they're edible, but I don't believe them. Yeah, my mom used to can, and during canning season, you'd walk in that kitchen, and she's boiling whatever it is she's making on the stove and boiling in bottles or jars, and it's like all the smells. Oh my gosh. Data. Yeah, it's from a tree and tastes like a cross of a mango and a banana. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Delahaye is saying crab apples are awesome. I don't know. I never had one.
But I've had a lot of people tell me they're edible. I just don't believe them. I don't believe them. But yeah, I used to love them persimmons, and Mom used to make what she called persimmon pudding. It really
Mm.
wasn't a pudding; it was more firm than it was almost more like a banana cake kind of thing, but it was in a big pan, like like banana bread. And
Oh yeah.
oh, it's so good, so good. But those persimmon trees make such a mess of your yard. Oh my gosh. Uh, Delhay says my grandparents had one when I was a kid until my brothers and I accidentally killed it. Oops. Willie Ham says, "Hey, Blowing, did you look at my Twitter DM?" No,
Oh,
I didn't. Hold on. Just a moment here. Uh, oh, okay. That's because on this new Twitter, it doesn't make it obvious that you've got somebody that you don't normally get DMs from sent you a DM. Hold on.
ah,
You know, my DMs are always open, but I still have to go in. Twitter makes you go in and accept it. If it's somebody that you haven't received a DM from or that you're not a mutual follow. And of course, it's hiding it from me because it says it's not somebody that you follow. This media is hidden because it's from someone you don't follow. Oh my gosh, that's close to the ditch there, dude. Uh, uh, watch this little video here. Wow, the tires plumb off the ground. You just barely averted disaster there, buddy. From what I can see. I'm glad you're all right. My goodness. Um, yeah, I'm glad you're all right. You got pretty close to flipping that dude. Uh,
let's see. We got 6 more minutes. Question, comments, concern, anything.
yeah, send it out there. But what do you call fake noodles? I am pasta. Impasta. Oh,
Imposter.
oh,
Uh,
data.
come on now. Cryptic.
uh, uh, Jen says my mom did a lot of pickling, antipasto, etc. She only stopped when it became more expensive to make them to buy. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But those mason jars make great soda
Oh
glasses,
yeah.
though. But a word of warning, and I learned this the hard way. Uh, uh, don't drink a full quart mason jar full of fresh whole milk. I mean, straight from the cow kind of milk. It's been cooled, but it just come from the cow. You didn't buy it at the store. Don't drink a whole quart jar of that in one sitting. Because I did that once as a teenager, and they tried to tell me not to do it, and I didn't listen. And boy, did I have a bellyache because my body was not used to the cream content of that fresh milk.
Mm.
My gosh, I had a bellyache. It was good though. It tasted good. Willie Ham, what is the spec list on your computer? I really don't know. It's like a 4-year-old laptop. Um, it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM because I've added 4 more. It only came with 4, and it's got an onboard AMD graphics card, that type of thing. Uh, It's not very powerful, but it was on sale. And at the time I bought it, I didn't know I was going to do a YouTube channel. So I wasn't thinking about powerful when I bought it. That idea didn't come around till later. Uh, Ebony Williams asks, do I enjoy fall? I do. It's my favorite time of the year, actually. I just hate that winter comes right on its tail. If we could just go from fall to spring, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. It's like fall letting you know it's getting cold, and spring is letting you know it's going to get hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Yeah, that word out of your arse. Okay. He's always trying to get me to curse. I don't know why he does that. Why it would be a big thing for me to
Try to
curse.
sneak it on.
Yeah. No, it didn't give me a sudden bowel movement. It just gave me a huge bellyache. I mean, I was in misery drinking that. And I was staying with some family friends down in Kentucky, and they had cows, and they'd go out and milk them. And you actually got the milk out of a metal pail that was in the refrigerator and had a dipper in it. And you moved aside the cream that would rise to the top of the pail and dipped out the milk. So you don't get much fresher than that.
Yeah, too much of a good thing. That's what it was.
Yeah, boy. Badger says, I only like the fall because it reminds you of the many times you fall down the stairs. No. Although that's true that I do fall down. That's not why. Cryptic, thank you for the donation. Holy crap. I do no such thing, old man. You do too. Stop. You just well own it. Jen says, yeah, if I had to eat honey after the milk, you would have had the runs. Yeah, probably. Although I do like honey.
Oh man. Oh,
Have you ever tried honeycomb, Pat?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's good. You just chew on it like you chew on gum. You just take a chunk of it and chew on it. It's very good. Very good.
Yes, I'm trying to find one of them. I'm trying to find one of them sites and things like that where they actually sell their make and sell their own honey. I think it's one. Damn, did I just cut out?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I said I think it's one down in Florida that I'm trying to find get some down there because they have one down there where they make and sell their own honey, and I think they have one where it's like the honeycomb do be included.
Yeah, and that's always the best stuff. It's always the best stuff. I've bought it lots of times with the comb already in it. Now you're going to get some things floating in your honey when you do it that way, but it's just pieces of the comb. It won't hurt you. It ain't anything. It's just pieces of that comb.
No.
But the comb is very chewy and it tastes like that honey. So if you can imagine like a chewing gum that's honey flavored, that's kind of like.
Do I say as long as it ain't piece of the bee that's up?
Don't want to chew on the bees.
I'm saying that.
And Michael Winers says that's the best way, though it's not filtered. Yeah, and then it says and some bee parts. Well, I guess you might get some bee parts. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard you might get some right there, but like I said, it's done filtered, so it's like it's the real raw type, so it's like you're getting real good stuff.
Yeah, and Cryptic, come on, man. Not like I try to make you say that word or anything. I'm not going to say it, dude. I'm not going to say it. I don't know why it'd be funny to you if I did. I don't understand. But anyway, we are at the end of the stream.
Oh, that time already? Huh?
Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Shoot, we didn't talk about anything in particular, just shot the bull, and sometimes that's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
fun.
just shot the breeze right there, and that's a good time, especially on a day like this right here.
Yeah, yeah. Just shot the breeze, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Chat, thank you as always for coming out and supporting my channel, and in the many ways that you do with your uh, retweets and your comments and your shares and all that stuff that you do. This channel couldn't happen without you. Um, but thank you as always. Pat, thank you for coming on. It was a little bit of short notice, I know, for you today. And sorry about
Hmm.
that, but glad you were able to make it. And
Oh yeah.
always a good time when you come out. Anything you want to shout out?
I said just be looking for a lot of things to be coming out on my Psycho Rick channel. Like right now, since it's October, I'm kind of doing like a month full of like the whole scary story thing. Mainly got to be along with the like the mirror creepy pastas and things like that. And I should be coming out with a couple of videos on my Yo Boy Pat channel. I know I haven't did one in like 3 months, but be expecting something to come out in there very, very soon.
There you go. There you all go. Check it out. Love me some Psycho Rick. I'm telling you, I do. I do like Psycho Rick.
And I'm getting better and better with them.
As for me, first of all, and I hadn't mentioned it, surprisingly, there is a link to my daughter's GoFundMe in the description. And if you're feeling charitable and want to help a young girl that needs your help out, please do go check that out.
Oh yeah.
But as for my channel, hopefully, I'm still hoping that Redneck Trek is going to happen tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time. If it doesn't, you've heard why. You know why. I'm still hoping for that. And then the next episode of Redneck Trek will be Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern Time. So come back and check us out then. But until then, get out of my yard.
All right, everybody.